Mambo VP, everybody, habari yako. Welcome back. Welcome back to Journey Through Alkebulan. I am Mahogany. To all of my loyal subscribers, asante sana. Welcome back. And to all of my new viewers who are hopefully my new subscribers, karibu sana. I'm going to jump right into this, you guys. This episode is about making sure that your personal business is in order when you are repatriating back to the continent, wherever you plan to repatriate. Please make sure that your personal matters, business matters, are in order when you are repatriating back to the continent. Unfortunately, I was informed that a newly arrived diasporan has transitioned to the ancestor realm. And, this person had not been here for a long time. It's just been a few months since he arrived with his family. And so it was just really shocking because he came here and hit the ground running. He was already in the registering his business, his foreign business, and registering it here. He had already established it in the US, and so he was just having it registered here in Tanzania, and he was just at the ending of that process. His children just loved being here in the motherland, on the continent, and in particular in Tanzania. They are really happy to be here, really enjoying themselves and their newfound freedom and sense of peace. Their new environment that is nurturing, that is surrounded by beautiful nature, delicious and nutritious fruits and veggies and grains and just everything that you need. They were just really appreciative of their new environment, and so I never expected to get such news. I really didn't, and it hit me hard, and it hurt me. And so it's important because we don't know, our day or our hour. We don't know when any of us are going to transition. And so it is imperative that you have your personal business matters in order to make sure that you are protecting your assets and protecting your children, whatever family that you have that will be left here. It's imperative that you protect them and you protect everything that you worked for, and just making sure that they will continue to be able to provide for themselves. Excuse me, you guys. My nose. So excuse me. So yeah, it's really important, that that we make sure that we are being responsible to and for our families first and foremost, because we all know, we've all experienced, and if not all, for the most part, and I'm just gonna shift this a little bit aside, you guys. We've all experienced when deaths occurred in our families, and certain people feel entitled, to the assets that are left behind. And oftentimes there are people that come out of the woodworks that really, was not, they didn't play a vital role in that person's life while they were still here. They weren't communicating with them regularly. They weren't supporting them at all, but they feel like their family title or position, family position in that person's life automatically, entitles them to the assets of the deceased. And it can get pretty messy, you guys. It can be very, very messy when money and, assets and estates, and just material things are involved. People get very greedy, and they become very evil and willing to do whatever they deem necessary to get the things that they feel that they are entitled to, just because they may be the mother of the deceased, because they may be the wife of the deceased, or a estranged wife, of the deceased. They're just different family dynamics, and just because you have the title does not necessarily entitle you to the assets of that deceased person. And so to protect, your assets, and to protect the family members that you were and are responsible for, please just make sure that you have your personal business in order, making sure that you write up a will. Please make sure that you write up an airtight will. If you have children, outlining who you would like to transfer the custody of your children to. Making sure that the documents that show that you have primary sole, physical and sole custody of your child or children. That's very important as well, especially when you're having to deal with two very different legal systems and two different worlds and two different continents. Very, very, very important. And so just making sure that whatever place you left and you were granted that guardianship, that you have that paperwork, and that you put in there where that paperwork is to be found. And so, just making sure that you, again, appoint a guardian, making sure that you account for all of your assets and how you would like for them to be shared or dispersed, and to who, in care of who. Making sure that you have a lawyer or an attorney that you can trust, who is very knowledgeable, and it's important that this person has some knowledge of international, or a lot of knowledge of international law, that they're not just an attorney of a particular state in the Americas, but they have international legal knowledge, so that they can properly represent you, be your representative to properly execute, the things that you put in your will, again, guardianship, assets, things of that nature. So that's very important. And they also come with just they're in an unbiased position. They are just there to, represent you and make sure that your will is properly executed in the way that you outline. So that's very important. And that way, it takes away a lot of the messiness where you appoint it to a certain family member, and then this family member feels like that family member should not be doing this or that, but whatever you put in writing, that's what it is, regardless of what they feel. So if you do appoint a certain family member, put it in writing. But I just think that it's best that you appoint someone who really has no family ties, and who can just represent you in an unbiased way. Very important. So, just please take heed, you guys. Take heed, because we don't know. And I'm sure that he may not have, thought that he would transition, he came here to live, and stop surviving. He came here to live. He came here to thrive. And those of us who are enlightened know that, this is just a stop in the journey. And this Terra, the earth, has its specific purpose. You know, so I'm not going to get deep into that. So death is not the end. It's actually just the beginning. And so, you know, it is my sincere hope that his soul's journey is beautiful and bright. His soul's journey is beautiful and bright. He has now joined the ancestral realm. His journey continues on for his spiritual development. And so, you know, his energy is not destroyed. It's still there, you know, it just transforms. So, but for his children, my heart bleeds for them, because all they know is that their dad is no longer with them. And he loved them enough to leave everything that he knew and everything that was comfortable to them and normal to them, and take them from that place all the way across the world to another place that they heard about, but just really didn't really know personally, and just for a better life, for you know, a better chance, and just for some peace, you know, some serenity, you know, a new start. And he had the courage and the wherewithal to do that, not only for himself, but for his children. And I commend him for that, and all who have done that. It is not an easy thing to uproot your family, you know, from one place in the world to another, you know, coming from the Americas all the way to Alkebulan. That's a long journey, you know, in itself. And it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of preparation, but it also takes a lot of courage, because, you know, you can't just pick up the phone and call, you know, said family member and say, hey, you know, can you come and watch the kids for me? You know, or can you meet me here or there? You know, you don't have that support system that you are, you know, you may be accustomed to. You know, even if you rarely used it, at least you know that it is there and that it is near. So it is not a, you know, an easy thing. And also just the sense of familiarity, you know where everything is, you know where to get certain things. Things are, it's easier for you to get the things that you need there. It's a whole new world when you're transitioning to the continent, wherever it is that you're transitioning, and it is not, you know, it's not easy, and there are things that are vastly different, you know, than what we are used to. And so, yeah, you guys, just please make sure that you have your business, your personal business in order. It really will alleviate a lot of stress. It will alleviate a lot of backbiting, a lot of you know, greedy attempts to, you know, to take things that someone else has worked for, you know, and take them for yourself when you are undeserving of them, you know, to misappropriate rather someone else's assets to yourself because you feel, you know, that your title entitles you to it. Yeah, no. So yeah, just have your business in order, you guys. When you see this video and you have not written a will, please go and do it write your will. Write your will. Also, it's important to put in there how you would like, to be treated if you become ill. What course of action you would like those around you to take. If you don't want to go to a mainstream hospital, you need to make sure that you put that in there. If you want to be treated by, someone who is who's an herbalist, or studies, naturopathic ways of healing, then make sure that you write that in somewhere, in your will, or just separate, as to how you would like, your treatment, your medical treatment to be carried out. That's also very important. Do you want to be resuscitated? Do you not want to be resuscitated? These things are extremely important. Extremely important. Please do not neglect your responsibility to yourself and to your family. Please, I urge you, beautiful ones, get your personal business matters in order. All right, until next time, be good.